Thanks, Sue, and good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank Unions21 for inviting me to be part of the Fair Work Commission and to be a commissioner, and welcome you all to Congress House. The original working title of my contribution was Stronger Unions Make Work and Society Fairer, period. But Dan, in his wisdom, gave it a much more refined title than that. But behind that working title was a kind of a determination to clearly make the case through this publication and through the work of this commission and much more widely for the ability of strong and effective unions to make work and society in general and beyond the workplace fairer. I personally, and a number of colleagues I spoke to and worked with at the TUC, felt that this was important because we got the sense that there was and remains within part of the progressive policy-making community something of a cultural cringe about trade unions that prevents their full potential being talked about, let alone given serious consideration when it comes to how we address issues such as fairness at work and inequality in society as a whole. A bit of a hangover maybe from the embarrassing relatives analogy that I'm proud to say my fellow Commissioner Lord John Monks, although I claim no equality with John in this status in this building. The case for trade unions in this contribution can be made by considering two key areas. Firstly, the way that unions via collective bargaining increase fairness at work, measured by pay and conditions, access to training and improved workplace democracy. And secondly, the benefits that workplace union representatives bring to both members and employers. The benefits of collective bargaining to unions are obvious. It provides us with recognition and it gives us the framework by which we can secure for our members a fairer deal when it comes to pay and other terms and conditions. But collective bargaining has benefits for employers too, even if they don't always appreciate and acknowledge them. It can remove employment conditions, in particular pay, from competition. It can contribute towards a more stable employer-employee relationship and provide opportunities for both parties to work together on a wide range of workplace issues, from training to productivity. And of course, collective bargaining is a vital tool for reducing inequality in society as a whole. The increase in inequality in the UK that occurred in the 2 decades after 1979 and the decline in union density in collective bargaining over the same period could be seen as coincidental. But when we compare the situation here in the UK with other countries, a clear link between collective bargaining coverage and income equality becomes clear. In the last decade, of the 23 OECD countries with lower levels of income inequality than the UK, 19 had higher levels of collective bargaining coverage. So that fact alone, I think, justifies placing unions at the centre of any efforts to address inequality, particularly inequality in wages. Now, of course, we all know that the people who deliver the benefits of trade union membership in its most practical form are our workplace union representatives. It's what they do every day that has the biggest impact on how members not only rate the relevance but also the effectiveness of unions of which they're members. They represent what might be considered the movement's unique selling point. Employees representing each other individually, collectively, and most crucially, independent of the employer. The work that these volunteers carry out benefits employers as well as employees. A review of facility time carried out by BEARS in 2007 found that due in no small part of the work of union reps, between 270 and 970 million was saved each year by employers and the taxpayer as a result of lower dismissal rates, reduced recruitment costs and improved workplace health and safety. Now, one would imagine that this government, given its apparent love of the volunteering spirit, although we all suspect that has slightly more malign intent, would single out for praise any other group of employers whose work had such a positive impact. But of course, our union representatives have been singled out, but unfortunately singled out not for praise, but for a sustained, ideologically motivated attack by the political right. A clear line can be drawn from the Taxpayers Alliance and their dodgy dossiers claiming to reveal the cost of facility time to the taxpayer, to the establishment of the deceptively named Trade Union Reform Campaign, essentially a front group of anti-union Tory backbenchers, and the recent Cabinet Office consultation on facility time in the civil service, which incidentally, shamefully, for a formal consultation between the Cabinet Office and unions, accepted evidence from the Trade Union Reform Campaign and the Taxpayers Alliance. It's no surprise then that this review recommended that the budget for facility time in the civil service should be cut by more than half. And we now have the rather unattractive sight of an overexcited Eric Pickles, don't hold that thought in your mind, falling over himself to launch a similar attack on union reps in local authorities. But the real problem with this attack on union reps is that, as well as delegitimising and stigmatising the role that these people play in workplaces, is that it will deprive employers of a valuable workplace resource, and of course, in the context of this discussion, result in workplaces that are less fair. Notably and significantly though, absent from the attacks on paid time off for reps has been the voice of most employers. That's because they know exactly what union reps do, because they spend most of the day sitting opposite them at the bargaining table solving real problems in the real workplace, and they know through that the real value that our people make. A few years ago, employers were happy to demonstrate their support for this role and jointly published a pamphlet with the TUC, Reps at Work, which documented the real value that reps bring to workplaces. There may be a chance to do that again if we can persuade the CBI to spend less time trying to redraw the basic rules and principles of democracy when it comes to strike and recognition ballots, and instead focus again on supporting a real resource that increases workplace efficiency, productivity, fairness and general well-being. Using this evidence of the huge contribution I think unions make towards creating a better, fairer society, we can take John Cruddas up on the challenge that he issued with us this morning, but also there's no excuse for him and other policy makers, both within and outside the movement, not to speak with more confidence about how this role can be extended. Employees are supportive of it. Unions21 asked workers if they would support the government encouraging the setting of wage levels in sectors between employer and employee representatives, and over half of respondents said that they would. Once again, the House of Lords and the Liberal Democrats proving themselves to be out of step with public opinion with their shameful abolition of the Agricultural Wages Board this week. There's increasing intellectual weight behind the idea of unions having a wider role in the regulation of labour standards. This was a key feature of a previous Unions21 publication extending collective bargaining, published last year, and has been given significant intellectual weight in a recent article in the Industrial Relations Journal written by Willie Brown, the Professor of Industrial Relations at Cambridge University, and a former colleague of mine, Chris Wright. Efforts to extend union influence will be assisted if we can open a new debate on industrial democracy, and as Francis indicated this morning, this will be a key TUC campaign over the coming year. What starts with union membership then leads to recognition as a natural conclusion with the presence of workplace reps and worker representatives on company boards. Again, this is an idea that has attracted support from employees. Again, Unions21 asked workers what they thought of this, and over 70% of respondents said they did. And over half thought that the proportion of seats on company boards for workforce reps should be between 10 and 20%. And just to draw to a conclusion, there's also a chance through this work to build on the recommendations of the McLeod Review of Employee Engagement, published in 2009. Its recommendations started an important debate on the potential contribution that employees can make towards the management of workplaces. But frustratingly, it underplayed the existing and potential role of a movement that still represents over a quarter of all employees and negotiates on behalf of more than a third of the workforce. Important as they are, just to finish, these approaches to extending union influence shouldn't be seen as a replacement for the difficult but essential task of workplace organising. We all know that it's only through day-to-day contact with and involvement in the activities of their union that workers can achieve the full potential of trade union membership. And it's only through workplace organising that unions can build long-term sustainable campaign capacity. You've heard from our new General Secretary today, and you won't need me to convince you that the TUC over the next year and beyond will approach this task with renewed purpose and energy. We know too that our affiliates will be up for this. After all, ensuring fair and equitable treatment of workers and creating a society based on equality and social justice is what trade unions were formed to do. Thank you.